There were two big dramas that kind of pushed me into finally making the decision to make a channel like this one for reacting to drama, as well as just like generally speaking, any kind of YouTube video that I found interesting and thought that I would have fun watching and reacting to and giving thoughts and commentary and such on. One of which was the Lakari situation, and the other is this Marvel Rivals tournament thing that happened. They both happened a little whiles back. I'm playing catch up now that I've got my channel in order and I'm starting to roll out some uploads and all that. Yeah, both of these situations just kind of like seem to blow up a bit and just get like a lot of attention and traction, even beyond what you might normally expect from like random streamer drama or gaming controversies or anything of that nature. And in fact, with this situation, when it came to the Lakari situation, like all the videos I saw were like Lakari's name and using his, picture in the thumbnails and all that. When it came to this Marvel Rivals tournament, there was a lot of different ways that I was seeing it presented when I was seeing like videos being recommended. And when I actually initially was going to learn about it like myself, just kind of like, like not recording, just kind of offline, when it was initially starting to make the rounds, the first video that I tried clicking on was one where somebody, like, they started their video being like, yeah, I don't really know exactly what's going on, but here's what I think is happening. And the video was like almost 30 minutes long, and I'm like, I'm not watching a 30-minute video from somebody who openly admits they don't know what the hell they're talking about. And then the next couple of videos that I saw but didn't click on were people who were like, the titles were things like, these female streamers just set back women's rights 1,000 years, or cringe gender war nonsense, basically. And so I was like, I definitely don't want to learn about the situation from somebody who has such a clear slant and narrative that they're trying to push. So that leads us to here and now, where we're going to learn about what happened from good old Penguin Z Zero, aka Moist Critical, aka Charlie. Because while frankly speaking, I don't actually watch a lot of Charlie's content myself, just kind of like on my own. I do think that from what I do know of him, I do trust him to give me a decent, quick and dirty rundown of what's going on. So let's find out together, shall we? What is going on?
I haven't heard of video game drama this big since the whole Dream Minecraft speedrunning saga. What's happening with the Marvel Rivals $40,000 tournament situation is pretty bizarre. In a nutshell, there was a Marvel Rivals tournament with a $40,000 prize purse. There was a player by the name of Kingsman who really wanted to take this seriously, making a mention that this money would be very helpful to him as a college student. And the rest of the team didn't seem to take it all that seriously, and eventually, when Kingsman was trying to, make changes to the team comp so they could better stand a chance at winning, they all attacked him, and eventually it led to him getting kicked from the tournament. His team then went on to place second to last in the tournament.
You guys. Okay, guys. Case and point proven right now. Do you understand?
No, it's not. You've been making me play shit. Of course I'm gonna play.
How do you not see the problem right now?
Wait, first of all, it's deadass Kingsman, like, shut the fuck up.
Okay.
Whoa.
He's not even on Invis. Second of all, you're getting value because
No. She shouldn't be dead.
Yes.
I'm
You're
getting
only
value
able to
because I'm
rekill them because
1v6ing.
Hulk isn't peeling for you, bro. Yes, Zaza is 0-5, but we won the point, bro. Why? Because they were hard. Like 4 people are dying here. That means four of their util, 4 of their resources are all spent on Zaza.
I saw this a couple days ago and I was so confused why anyone would be joining a tournament if they didn't actually care about winning at all. So he is very clearly trying his best to help the team win.
Yeah, and seemed to
they
be
were
carrying by the looks of
talking
it.
about, like how toxic and annoying and insufferable he was, things like that, which eventually led to him getting kicked and being like disrespectful, that kind of thing. From all the clips I've seen, he never made any like personal attacks against anyone. He was never even like overbearing or like yelling and screaming. The closest he came was in this clip here where he's like, do you understand? Like, case in point, we should make a switch. This isn't working. Our Widow is 0-5-0, which is a very fair point and a good suggestion because it clearly wasn't working. They may have won.
Yeah, I don't know Marvel Rivals, by the way. I don't play shooters. I played shooters when I was in like middle school and that was just because that's what my friends played and it was the easiest way to co-op game. But shooters are like my least favorite kind of game. So I don't know Marvel Rivals, but I do know that there is a pretty big disparity between someone who's going, I think that his score was 18-2 if I looked at the scoreboard correctly. And her score, the person in question, her score was 0-5, we were just told. So that's yeah, bit of a difference there.
On the point, but I think it's a large part because Kingsman put the team on his fucking back here. Like 18-2, he was kind of going Insano style. I don't know why this became such a huge issue for his teammates, where they hated him so much for trying to win that they started insulting him after the fact. And that's where most of the drama stems from. Them refusing to switch is one thing that feels like it's kind of trolling and just intentionally throwing the tournament for the sake of vibes, which is weird because, again, just go play quick play or something. Why even bother going into a tournament if the goal isn't to try and win it? He made it clear he wanted to sweat because this would be very important money for him in his situation with college. Now, I also heard that...
I mean, shit, times are tough right now. I ain't in college, but I could use a few $1,000s. I'll tell you that for free.
When the tournament was put together, there wasn't an announcement about how much money was on the line. So I think maybe there was some confusion from the team where they wanted to just play for fun and sillies and goofies. And then once $40,000 was announced, they still had that mindset. Meanwhile, Kingsman really wanted a piece of that pie because it would be helpful to him. It'd be like $3,000, which is a significant amount of money, especially for someone in college where this could be very useful. So that clashed where he really wanted to win. His team, who they didn't give too much of a fuck. They didn't think it was that big of a deal. So he, throughout like their time playing together, would be making like suggestions and saying like, hey, you know, there's going to be this in the tournament, there's going to be that, maybe we should look at this, maybe we should look at that. And I think they were just getting so annoyed that he was wanting to win so badly that they started to really resent him for it. It eventually led to like the bubbling over point where he got reported to the tournament organizer. They said a whole bunch of nasty stuff about him, and then it snowballed into what it is today. Mainly because the team captain was so vocal about her disdain for this guy. She said things like, I'm pretty sure he spent all 20 years of his life inside playing video games, which is why he lacks social skills.
Aren't you a fucking streamer? A streamer making fun of someone for playing a bunch of video games. Now I've heard everything. What the fuck? And like, aren't games like this like kind of inherently competitive by nature? Like, I don't understand this. I don't understand. This seems like they had a problem with him being competitive while they are playing a competitive game. Like, it's not like even just like, forget the fact that it's even a tournament for money. Like, are you not playing a competitive game? Like, shouldn't you just generally kind of have some sort of inclination towards wanting to win the game.
You are also spending your time inside playing video games. You're a streamer. Why are you using that as an insult against him?
Thank you, Charlie.
I didn't really detect a lack of social skills throughout any of the footage I saw of them playing together. I guess you could make an argument that, you know, maybe his attitude could grind your gears because he was offering like a lot of advice on potential team comps, and he did multiple times mention like, hey, the Black Widow's probably not going to work here. We've got to be mindful of like dive comps, that kind of thing. Would you be willing to try like Bucky perhaps? And they would always kind of like roll their eyes at him and be like, shut the fuck up. Like, there's a clip I saw where one of them was like, you've got to just drop this. That's enough. Stop making suggestions, basically, about, you know, switching. It's not happening. Look, which I think is a pretty hostile response to that, because this is coming from a place of him just trying to help the team win. I don't think he was being like necessarily overbearing with it or anything like that. He certainly wasn't really being aggressive about it. Like, he never got personal. He was never like insulting his teammates. He was never doing anything like that from what I could tell. So I truly didn't see like a lack of social skills. I just saw someone who really wanted to win because there was a significant amount of money on the line. And if you're in a tournament, why would you not be trying to win? Team Cat.
Yeah, I definitely understand that point of view of like again, I just said, like, you know, if you're playing, like, even if it's not in a tournament, you're playing a competitive game, you should be trying to be somewhat competitive. But also, if this is something that like he was bringing up like over and over, like if he was being like incessant about it and legitimately like no one on the team fucking cared, I feel like maybe at a certain point he probably should have dropped it. But that there's like a lot of factors involved with like it's hard to know just from hearing about it secondhand what, like, who was necessarily like how people were taking certain things and if they were responding appropriately and all that kind of stuff.
Captain even made this statement saying, I don't want to win with someone who can't take no for an answer, which is a certified stinky comment for sure. That's a big time PU moment right there for the Jumbotron.
Yeah, does anybody else feel like the phrasing of that's really weird? I don't want to win with someone so like, I don't know, maybe this is just my brain in particular, but like it almost feels like she's trying. I don't want to win with someone who can't take no for an answer. My brain like almost immediately went to the idea of like the whole idea of like in relationships, the idea that like no means no kind of thing, and people trying to like push that in terms of like trying to make certain topics and ideas of like consent more well known and like normalized among the general public. And I don't know, I feel like she's I don't know, it for me it kind of reads as her trying to like lean on that sort of perspective almost, and that feels weird because this is so wildly not the same as that. I feel but again, I could just be taking it the wrong way or like reading too much into it, and also just the idea of being like, I don't want to win a tournament with somebody who I don't like. God, that would be terrible.
I don't know where that's even coming from. His suggestions weren't heeded. Okay? He didn't start like, you know, stomping his feet and yelling and screaming and pissing and shitting about it either. He's just like, okay, all right, we'll do it. We'll run it. Fuck it. We'll do it live. And when it didn't work, he did eventually say like, look, I told you so. Can we please make this switch? And then still got attacked for it. I didn't see any examples of him not taking no for an answer. Like, yes, he did make a suggestion multiple times, like, would you be willing to try this? Would you be willing to maybe switch here? What about this? But that isn't not taking no for an answer. That is coming from someone who wants to win a fucking $40,000 tournament.
It's also, from the way that Charlie's describing it, it also sounds like he was proposing, like, multiple solutions. So that's not taking no for an answer. That's trying to problem solve. That's just like that's just I don't know. That's like how you. Uh,
Continued to insult Kingsman and I guess anyone that was supporting him in her Discord, saying, "Yo, Kingsman cocksuckers, screenshot this. Y'all think I ain't seen the toxicity in the Kingsman Discord with not spreading hate from the mods and Kingsman community? Fire emoji." This one will really get your eyebrow in the air. So she's calling out the people that were supporting Kingsman, saying they're cocksuckers and how toxic they are. Meanwhile, she has been the most openly toxic, like vocally expressing her disdain for this guy and now like his community. And let's not get it twisted. I think it's pretty obvious. Most people have probably seen a lot of like really dog shit takes from people that are using this as just like a giant insult against all women who play video games. That is absolutely happening, and that shit sucks. Those are some fucking losers you can make fun of. Absolutely. But she, from what I can tell when this message was sent, was talking about like anyone that was expressing support for Kingsman, and I'm sure there probably were some like absolute greaseballs that went through and said some terrible things, sure. But to extend that to like anyone that was supporting Kingsman, calling them cocksuckers, I think is just kind of crazy.
Yeah, I say this in a lot of my videos, just to make it clear that like I recognize that this is like how this works basically. I'm obviously being shown a very particular view of the situation at the moment, and so it's entirely possible that certain things are being cherry picked to like paint things a certain way, but like this CC person seems rather childish. So
especially considering she has by far been the most mean and nasty about this. Kingsman, from what I saw from the clips that were during this time, he tried to like actively say like, hey, don't go harass anyone and don't be mean. You know, it is what it is at the end of the day. Like,
good for him.
Clearly upset about it, but I felt like he was doing, or at least making an effort to try and stop people from going and doing shit like that. She, on the other hand, was just openly attacking him.
Character? No, everyone thinks this guy's a loser.
Like a bug. That's just what happens.
That's such a good point. You're so right about that. And we're still gonna play Widow. I need this for my college.
Is that the same? Is that the same girl from the screenshots, the messages and the posts that we were just being shown?
I need this for my college. I have about 6 or 7 more years.
This is a clip I keep seeing spread around.
I already hate that fucking meme in general. And now you're gonna use it to try to be funny. Like, she was clearly trying to be funny with that, right? That was like intended to be a joke. And okay.
That first clip is when he is explaining like why the Widow's not going to work, and they're like, "Oh, great point. Go fuck yourself. We're still playing Widow. That's all we're gonna do. We're here just for good vibes, good time, and I don't care if this money means something to you because it doesn't to us." That second clip, that is not CC. That is someone else named Lucy.
Okay. So, the fact that he said that second person's not CC, I assume that first one is CC, which is the name on the previous screenshots we were seeing. Okay, so yeah. So in addition to her childish posts, and what looked like, I think, Discord messages, in addition to that, she's also just like, it seemed like she was, I assume she was like talking to her chat or something, like probably muted to the call, because it seemed like she was talking while like looking at another screen, and then kind of like redirected her attention back while saying something that was like more directly addressing the group. So, but still, that was...
has deleted this VOD, so I can't even find the full context here, but from the sound of things, she is insulting Kingsman because of him expressing the want of the $3,000 because it would be very helpful to him as a college student. So then she's like making fun of him, taking the piss, even threw in an absolutely revolting 6'7" meme reference that'll make your skin crawl about it.
He doesn't like 6-7 either.
Mean-spirited.
Cool.
There's also another clip of her talking about it, saying like, even if you support Kingsman, like it's fucking Israel or something. I don't even know what she was trying to say
What?
with that one. I guess since I referenced it, I'll show you that clip too.
I have a genuine question. Like, seriously, answer this. Even if you support Kingsman or whatever, support Kingsman like it's fucking Israel. Anyways,
What?
whatever you have in your head. I have a genuine question. I
I think everyone has a genuine question
Wait.
after seeing that segment there. I don't know.
What? So what? No, hold on. Hold on. No, hold on.
Referenced it, I'll show you that clip too.
I have a genuine question. Like, seriously, answer this. Even if you support Kingsman or whatever, support Kingsman like it's fucking Israel. Anyways, whatever you have in your head. I have a genuine question.
I think everyone has a genuine.
What the fuck is that? What is she trying to say? Okay, I think I get what she's trying I think I get the point she's trying to make. But holy fuck, is it a crazy way to try to make that like, bro. We're fucking streamers playing in a video game tournament. Why the fuck are you bringing in like one of the most contentious political topics of the day to that is a wild fucking clip. That is an absolutely absurd clip.
Question after seeing that segment there. I don't know why she would be saying something like that with this. Again, the whole VOD, from what I can tell, is no longer accessible, so I don't even know what
I wonder why.
to ask is. But yeah, it's definitely not a good look, and she is very openly, like, making fun of Kingsman from what I can see in the clips that still exist of it. But this is not CC. This was not someone that played on Kingsman's team. I don't believe. All of this is only the tip of the iceberg.
Wait, this
by the
person
way.
wasn't even...
It gets so much
Who the fuck is she then?
Google
Why is she
Docs
talking?
out there from the widow's boyfriend, the tournament organizer initially
Come again?
doubled down, saying, nope, I maintain my position here. He deserved to be kicked from this tournament. He violated all of our rules. And then today he came forward very somber, like, look, I know everyone's mad at me and they're right to be mad at me. I was wrong about everything. I looked at this misleading evidence. It was only from one side and it was incorrect. I acted too hastily. So now he's like singing a very different tune about how, you know, he's had this come to Jesus moment after seeing the other side of the story with Kingsman. It's very clear that he was manipulated by incorrect information. He shouldn't have kicked him from the tournament.
When they come in here, the people, when they come in here, when they hate, they're justified in what they're saying. They're absolutely right. They're absolutely right. 100%. No question about it. Like, there's no beating around the bush. I don't know why it's, like, difficult to admit when you're wrong and when you fucked up. I made a decision based off of haste and based off of misinformation, but everybody in the team knew what was going on. Everybody in this team knew what was going on, and the fact that nobody told me anything was... That's whatever. It doesn't matter.
Also, Kaplunk, whom was the boyfriend in this.
Ooh, that guy. That sounded a little bitter. No, that sounded a little bitter. Like, first of all, good on him for admitting to his mistakes. You know, he was very much it. He seemed to be like. He seems to have a bit of a chip on his shoulder about it, but it's not like it didn't seem to me, again, in that one short clip, it didn't seem to me like he was just trying to say what he thought people wanted to hear. It seemed like he was legitimately just like, I fucked up. I fucked up. I'm not happy about it, but it is what it is, and now I've got to live with that and just kind of go from here. So good on him for that. But there was definitely a twinge of frustration. I feel like when he was like, everybody in the team knew what was going on and nobody. It's fine. It's fine. It is. You know, it was very much like it's fine. It's fine. It's very much just like I'm pissed, but I'm not going to continue talking about it. I just want to move on, kind of thing.
Story is reaching out.
Who is this now?
Plunk, whom was the boyfriend in this story, is reaching out with an apology, saying that he went about it the wrong way and overstepped. Zaza,
Oh, right, 'cause-
told him to leave it alone, but he couldn't control his impulses.
Wait.
The demon had to be let out of the cage. Thus,
Wait. So his girlfriend, the 05 widow in question, who was causing issues, the person who's actually playing in the tournament, the streamer who's actually involved in the situation, she told him not to get. I overstepped. Zaza told me to leave it alone in confidence, and dumb. This guy can't write for shit. Anyways, yeah, so she told him to leave it alone, and this dude just didn't listen. I'm gonna be honest. Am I overreacting? I'm gonna be honest. I'm probably breaking up with your ass. That like, is that not like hugely disrespectful to your partner? Like, you tell them about something that's bothering you, and they say, and they're like, oh, I'm gonna do this to fix it for you. And you're like, no, don't do that. And they just do it anyways? Is that not like a major red flag in your relationship?
he went in and started sending clips to the tournament organizer to kick him, the Google Doc, all that kind of stuff.
Oh, he made a Google Doc?
CC, the team
Wild.
captain, the one who was by far the most openly hostile to Kingsman and anyone that was showing any level of support for him, came forward with an apology as well, saying, "I'm sorry, I was going off the video and forgot to explicitly call this out. Earlier today, I woke up with 1,000 noties from the day before, and people had joined my server from Kingsman, having a panic attack, and I just started experiencing them." So
Not the panic attack
social skills because
defense.
He spends his time playing video games inside. I was angry and ended up
Oh,
lashing out at him instead of his community. I deeply regret it. I apologize for flinging another insult out. This shows I have terrible character, but I will be working on watching the words I say and getting help with my panic attacks. A community note even got hot dropped on here straight off the battle bus saying, even after the initial situation calmed down, CC continued to bully Kingsman and speak ill of him across social media. CC has a history of attacking other players and talking trash.
Oh, does she now?
Really go as smoothly as I think she was hoping it would.
That's amazing. Community notes. A+, 10 out of 10. Love them. Best thing about that platform. Twitter as a whole, terrible, atrocious platform. Only gotten worse in the past couple of years. You know exactly why. Love the community notes feature, especially during drama shit like this.
And interestingly enough, from what I can find, Kingsman throughout this entire thing has tried to urge people not to harass anyone that's been involved in it. You know, Zaza, her boyfriend, Cece, anyone. He's been trying to like actively calm things down to the best of his ability, but this clearly blew up well beyond anyone's wildest expectations. And Kingsman actually was able to make over $3,000, which would have been his cut of the prize money should they have won the tournament, through subs and donations the last time he streamed, which I believe was last night. So a bit of a happy ending for Kingsman. Not exactly the smoothest sailing for his teammates that were bullying him, attacking him, and insulting him. That has...
I'm sure they're farming ad revenue just fine off of all the haters that are coming into their chats. That's the unfortunate side effect of this kind of thing, is that, like, you know, they say that any publicity is good publicity, right? And there are people who push back on that and are like, oh no, actually, you know, negative attention has all these, like, even in the terms of like streaming specifically, people will be like, you know, negative attention has like these sorts of bad effects and impacts on your channel and like da 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 and like your community and blah 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 blah. But the fact of the matter is, like, if people are going, in the case of like streamers in particular, with a drama like this, if people are going to like CC stream, for instance, and like hanging around hoping to have the opportunity to like say some mean, awful shit or like trying to like clip something, them sitting in that channel, when she runs ads, she's making money off of them. What's more, the more viewers you have in a category, on especially on Twitch, the easier it is to get more viewers because you're higher up in the category if people are searching like by game. So it helps them, even if they don't want to admit it.
It worked out super well so far. Anyway, that's really about it. So, yep.
No, I should have just finished the video. Fuck, there was like 5 seconds left. Holy moly. Holy moly. That was quite something. Wow, I feel like I don't have a strong understanding of what happened though. That's a I was wondering if I would end up feeling this way after watching it, because again, like, while I expected Charlie to give me like a decent Cliff Notes like overview of things, it's also a 13-minute video, and like, you know, sometimes you just can't cover a topic in 13 minutes. Like, I'm looking right now and, you know, Mugen's got an hour-and-a-half video on this. Like, maybe Mugen's video is super bloated, but even if it is, like even if Mugen's video is super bloated, that means that like you could probably still reasonably get a good half hour out of this. So I don't know. I don't know if I necessarily want to watch Mugen's video, but I am kind of curious to like maybe watch something else on this. I don't know. For now though, let's just go ahead and operate on the assumption that that's that. And if you liked seeing my reaction, enjoyed this video, then like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. And until I see you in the next one, take care. Bye. Wait, no, sorry. Video's not over yet. It's a couple days later, and I ended up watching a lot more stuff about what all happened because I didn't feel like I got enough from the Moist Critical video. So yeah, I jumped around a little bit, tried watching a couple of things. Again, for various reasons, there were just some like not good videos on the topic. But I ended up watching a 5-hour video from a creator called Flats, I think it was. And he just went through and watched like all of the direct information, like all of the direct videos like from the different creators. So like he watched Kingsman's like 1 hour, 1.5 hour video. He watched like some of the like apology videos from like people like CC. He looked at like the Twitter posts and like apologies and community notes that happened, the ratios from other people, and a couple of other things like that, and some clips, some Google Docs, things of that nature. And so, unless some big developments happened with the situation after that video came out, I think I've got a pretty good handle on everything. And holy fucking fuck, that situation was such a shit show. Like, I thought it was bad after watching the Moist Critical video, but dear God, did it just get so much worse than I would have expected. And it's funny too, because watching the Flats video where he's going through, he went through it all live on stream as opposed to doing it as like, you know, an outside pre-recorded thing that was going to be uploaded to YouTube later. And as he's like going through things and like different things are happening, he'll be like, oh my God, this is so awful. And then he'll look over at his chat and and there'll be like a pause and he'll be like, what do you mean it gets worse? And because his chat's just like, oh no, you can't stop it, like keep going, something's about to happen. And he's just and it just kept getting worse. And oh my God, and so the people involved all around are just kind of trash. Like CC, Zaza's boyfriend, Zaza, it's hard to say technically. It's technically she has a fair amount of like plausible deniability, so to speak, but most likely her and her boyfriend, and I don't remember the name, but that girl who was Kingsman's duo, who was like the one who made the like the Israel joke, like that. There's just like there's so much, and it just like they just keep making it worse. And it's not just that the situation keeps getting worse, it's like they also like these people keep making it worse for themselves, because again they put out these like apologies and it's like just so clearly fake and hollow and like just trying to placate people, or like masquerading as an apology while actually doubling down on certain like stances and like behaviors. And it's just like it's so ridiculous, man. It's so crazy to me how averse people are to trying to duck and dodge away from accepting like any shred of accountability in any kind of situation like this. And yeah, I didn't think that putting up a 5, 6, 7 hour video would be a good fit for me for this channel trying to get off the ground. But yeah, I took in a lot of information about this, and something that Flats was saying kind of throughout the video that I kind of agree with, and I didn't agree with every opinion that he kind of injected into like offered rather for how the situation unfolded, but there were some things that he said that I very much agreed with. And like one of the things he said was like how he felt like this whole situation could have been avoided with a bit better communication from like all parties. And like I kind of agree with that, but at the same time, the way that things happened after, and like the way that this went from being a thing that happened to being like a drama and like a controversy, shows me that like the maturity levels of various people involved is probably just like not high enough for the necessary levels of communication to have avoided these kinds of issues. So yeah, I feel like there was like maybe one or two other things that I wanted to mention, but I just wanted to tack this on at the end of the video and be like, I looked into this more because I was curious and I know more about it. So yeah, I guess just to give like some minor additional thoughts beyond what I'd said previously. And also, so like if anybody does end up watching this video and wanting to like ask me questions or talk more about it in the comments, you can do so knowing that I have like a fuller picture of what all went down beyond just what I saw in the video that I directly reacted to. So yeah, that's it. Bye.